support to performers during these difficult times.
Les contributions volontaires sont nécessaires pour toutes les prestations. Les présentations en ligne sont gratuites et offertes à un public de tous âges. En plus de la rémunération offerte aux artistes, le public est invité à faire une contribution volontaire via PayPal. La totalité de ces montants additionnels sera remise à part égale aux artistes qui offriront une prestation. Toute contribution, si petite soit-elle, sera appréciée.
Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge and thank the First Peoples of the territory where you, the viewer, resides, for sharing the land in order to celebrate the accomplishments of the folk musicians in our communities.
Nous saluons et remercions les gens des Premières Nations de partager leur territoire et nous permettent ainsi de souligner l'apport des musiciens folk dans nos communautés. Maintenant, on va vous présenter un groupe qui tourne pas mal, mais en fait, avant la pandémie surtout, Mélisande, électrotrad, finaliste dans la catégorie Innovation musicale. L'éclectique duo Mélisande et électrotrad poursuit son aventure créatrice entre tradition et modernité, avec son troisième album, Les Myriades. Les chansons qui s'y retrouvent ont été dénichées lors d'un projet de collecte mené par Mélisande et Alexandre auprès des aînés en 2018 le long de la rivière Richelieu. Cette belle aventure a permis au couple de pousser encore plus loin sa démarche ethnologique et de découvrir de sympathiques personnages de leur région.
Pop Matters magazine calls Mélisande a creative, inspiring, and delightful milestone in francophone and global folk music, a fusion of tradition and innovation that honors the past while reinterpreting it for the present. If this is the future of folk, we're in good hands. Mélisande's performance tonight was sponsored by Studio Basebin.
Trinquons ma commère, nous le pouvons bien, nous le pouvons bien. C'est pas la bière qui manque, nous en avons bien, nous en avons bien. J'ai monté dans un arbre pour mieux voir au loin, pour mieux voir au loin. J'ai aperçu un moine, oh, 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 le verre à la main, train, train, train. Demain je m'en vais, malgré là, mardi je reviens. Oh, oh, oh. Demain je m'en vais, malgré là, mardi je reviens. J'ai aperçu un moine là-bas dans un coin, là-bas dans un coin. Qui confessait les filles, le verre à la main, le verre à la main. Mais s'il y en avait une qui ne voulait point, qui ne voulait point. Et je fais signe aux autres, oh, 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 devenez demain, train, train, train. Demain je m'en vais, madurer là, mardi je reviens. J'ai fait signe aux autres, revenez demain, revenez demain. Demain à la même heure ou encore plus matin, encore plus matin. Je vous confesserai tout, oh, 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 le verre à la main, train, train, train. Demain je m'en vais, madurer là, mardi je reviens. Je vous confesserai tout, oh, 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 le verre à la main, train, train, train. Demain je m'en vais, madurer là, mardi je reviens. Demain je m'en vais, madurer là, mardi je reviens.
Young Performer of the Year, Jeune Artiste de l'Année. This award has been sponsored by Penguin Eggs magazine since the inception of the CFMAs. A few months ago, Penguin Eggs released its final issue after 23 years of shining a light on the lives and the work of folk musicians in Canada and around the world. A huge thank you to publisher Roddy Campbell for his tireless efforts over the years on behalf of our folk community.
In the category for Young Performers of the Year, dans la catégorie pour Jeune Artiste de l'Année, sponsored by, commandité par Penguin Eggs Magazine. The nominees are, les nominés sont Maya Ray pour Can You See Me? Moscow Apartment pour Better Daughter. Paige Penny pour Watch Out for Your Step. Quinn with one N for Out of the Blue. The Gilberts for The Gilberts 1.
And the award goes to The Gilberts for The Gilberts 1.
We are so beyond excited and so thankful to have won this award. Just to be nominated in the first place was amazing, and this is unbelievable.
We had so much fun creating our album, The Gilberts 1, and we were so happy to be able to share our music with the world, even during difficult times.
And of course, we really want to thank everyone who helped us get here. Educators and mentors, our parents, and of course, our listeners. We thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Children's Artist of the Year, Album Jeunesse de l'Année. The music that we hear as kids has a profound effect on us for the rest of our lives. Canada has produced some of the world's best-known family entertainers, such as Sharon Lois and Bram, Raffi, and Fred Penner. This tradition of excellence continues with this year's nominees.
In the category for Children's Album of the Year, dans la catégorie pour Album Jeunesse de l'Année, the nominees are, les nominés sont Broccoli Farm by par Claire Ness, Good Night to You All by par Charlie Hope, Small But Mighty by par Gina Lena, The Mountain Man by par Spencer Burton, Tout Musicien by par Henri Godon.
And the award goes to Broccoli Farm by Claire Ness.
Which is true because I don't know if I won yet, but if I did, it's so amazing, and I'm so grateful to Grant Simpson, the producer of this record, and all the musicians and artists who worked on this record. I want to thank Yukon Media Development and Factor for supporting it, and my little guy, Augie, the best little guy in the world. I love you all individually and as a group.
Leela Gilday was born and raised in Denendeh in the north. Strong singer and storyteller, Leela believes in the transformative powers of music, its ability to illuminate hidden places, to break down the walls that keep us from connecting. Leela guides us through the light and the dark with resilient courage, vulnerability, and compassion. She's nominated for Indigenous Songwriter of the Year.
Leela Gilday, une artiste qui affiche sincérité et authenticité, une gagnante, une guerrière, d'après David Newland, Roots Music Canada.
Danate, everyone. My name is Leela Gilday, and I'm coming to you from Yellowknife's Dene Treaty 8 territory up here in Yellowknife Northwest Territories. I'm so honored to share some songs for the Canadian Folk Music Awards, and it's been a year since I've played music in a live setting, a live concert setting, but I know that we'll be able to be together again, and it's wonderful that we're able to come together in this virtual way. I miss all of you. The song is called Space. So there is a space, a place for everyone. So there is a time when leaves have to fall, and what you left was love and a hole where you have gone. I know that we will be there soon. Where you have gone, I know that we will be there soon. Some people just are wild. Passion for life, the fire burns hot like the sun for the moon. Where you have gone, I know that we will be there soon. Where you have gone, I know that we will be there soon. Brother, you are free. Enjoy everything. Dance over the earth and play in the stars. I know I'll hear your voice in the call. Where you have gone, I know that we will be there soon. Where you have gone, I know that we will be there soon. Hey. Mussy Cho. I think the overall theme of this year for me and probably for many of you is healing and resilience. And this song that I'd like to close with is called Keta Natseju. It's about healing within our own families, and I want to send it out to all of you. Please enjoy the show, and please keep on supporting live music because we're still here. And to all my colleagues, I cannot wait to give you the biggest hug. So here we go.
My dear mother, I wish you well. I can't stand to see you cry. So I hide this distant hell, and I wipe the tears from my eyes. My dear brother, will I see you again? There's so many things I long to say. Life has dealt you a bad hand, and all I can do is pray. Ketana, not CG, not Seju. Ketana, not CG, not Seju. My dear brother, is there no other way? Surely you deserve a chance. I wish I could hold you up, and you would join us in the dance. Ketana, not CG, not Seju. My sweet sister, you haunt me still. I see you all dressed in red. I wish I could turn back time and take back all those things I said. Ketana, not CG, not Seju. Ketana, not CG, not Seju. Ketana, not CG, not Seju.
Masicho.
In the category for Ensemble of the Year, dans la catégorie pour Groupe de l'année, sponsored by, commandité par Edmonton Folk Music Festival. The nominees are, les nominés sont OKAN pour Sombras, Pharis and Jason Romero pour Bet on Love, Sultans of String pour Refuge, Sussex pour The Ocean Wide, The Dead South pour Sugar and Joy.
Et maintenant, le prix pour le groupe de l'année, Ensemble of the Year, commandité par Edmonton Folk Fest. Le prix est décerné à Pharis et Jason Romero pour Bet on Love.
Amazing, thank you. It's incredible to win an Ensemble of the Year. We definitely share this record with our bandmates who play on the record, John Reichman on mandolin.
Patrick Metzger on bass.
Heck yeah. And our producer, Mark Jenkins. And our engineer, John Rayo, who traveled all the way to Horsefly to come and record this record.
All the way here.
So, thanks guys for being an amazing crew to work with, and thank you so much to the Canadian Folk Music Awards.
In the category for French Songwriters of the Year, dans la catégorie pour auteur-compositeur francophone de l'année. The nominees are, les nominés sont Guillaume Arsenault for La partie de moi qui tremble, Raphaël Delahaye for Le sens de la dérive, Marie-Ève Lapierre-Lemoine for 11, Flavie Léger-Roy for Ce chapeau est trop grand pour moi, Alexandre Poulain for Nature humaine.
Et puis à Pâques, quand on le tue, sous les statues.
Et maintenant, pour le prix auteur-compositeur francophone de l'année,
Des fois, je me demande combien sont morts pour qu'ils rayonnent et brillent autant.
très rapide, le prix est décerné à Marie-Ève Lapierre-Lemoine pour 11.
De l'autre côté de la fenêtre, il y a le vert des collines.
Ce prix-là veut dire beaucoup. C'est comme la consécration d'un rêve que j'avais de gagner ma vie avec l'écriture de chansons. Et merci à mon père et ma mère d'avoir été les premiers à semer cette passion-là chez moi, des mots et de l'écriture. Vous m'y avez encouragé dès le départ. Puis merci d'avoir laissé fleurir ça chez moi. Merci à toute l'équipe qui est derrière le projet depuis des années. Pierre-Luc Durand, Jean-François Baudet, Simon Robitaille, les musiciens, vous vous reconnaissez. Merci aux amis, puis merci au Prix de la musique folk canadienne d'encourager la relève. À la prochaine!
OKAN, finaliste pour groupe de musique du monde et groupe de l'année. Nominees for World Album and Ensemble of the Year. Le groupe tire son nom du mot « cœur » dans la religion afro-cubaine de Santeria. OKAN est un ensemble dirigé par des femmes qui fusionnent les racines afro-cubaines avec le jazz, le folk et les rythmes mondiaux dans des chansons sur l'immigration, le courage et l'amour. Ils sont de Toronto.
Thematic stories of immigration, family, and sacrifice are woven through the music of the women-led Afro-Cuban roots group OKAN. Their exciting merging of jazz, folk, and global rhythms make Espiral a party, transporting the listener to their lush, resilient island and abundantly creative culture. They would like to thank Lulu World Records for sponsoring this performance.
Auma waori, auma waori, awa osum, awa oma, leri oma, leyawo, bobo egunkawe. Hello, everybody! Welcome to the Canadian Folk Music Awards. Thanks so much for being here and inviting OKAN. OKAN is very honored to be nominated on their first album, Sombras. So we hope you can enjoy this song called Sombras, calling upon our ancestors for guidance and protection. On piano, Jeremy Lebere! Necesito más que Thank you, thank you.
Producer of the Year, réalisateur de l'année. Sometimes it's hard to describe to people outside of the music business exactly what it is a producer does. So I went to the internet to see if I could find a definition. I found lots, but the one I liked the best was from the UK Music Producers Guild website. It said, a record producer's job is to realize the full potential of an artist or band. The details may vary from project to project, but that pretty well sums it up.
In the category for Producers of the Year, dans la catégorie pour Réalisateur de l'année, the nominees are, les nominés sont Dave Clark and Bill Garrett, pour Coming Home, Steel Rail. Roy Forbes, pour Edge of Blue, Roy Forbes. Mark Jenkins, pour Bet on Love, Pharis and Jason Romero. Dana Manning, pour Morning Light, Dana Manning. Chris McCool and John Beadle Bailey, pour Refuge, Sultans of String.
And they told me if I whistled you would dance.
And the award goes to Chris McCool and John Beadle Bailey for Refuge by Sultans of String.
Hey, CFMA! It's truly been an amazing global experience and so very meaningful to draw attention to the incredible creative talents and stories from the refugees and new immigrants to this great land.
Big shout out to fellow Sultans Kevin, Eddie, Drew, Chendi, and especially our amazing collaborators on this project. Also sending huge love and respect to our fellow nominees and our very supportive spouses, parents, and children. Thanks so much.
The Slate Music Unsung Hero Award, Prix Travailleurs de l'Ombre. This award is given each year to someone who contributes to the folk community in a quiet, under-the-radar kind of way. It could be a concert promoter who puts off small shows in a rural community hall, or it could be the local fiddler who plays at every benefit concert in their hometown. Here is Jason Arkley to introduce this year's recipient, Ava Kabrinsky.
It's an honor and a privilege to introduce Ava Kabrinsky as the recipient of the Slate Music Unsung Hero Award for the 2021 Canadian Folk Music Award. Ava is a passionate supporter of the arts who has devoted her career to establishing a strong organizations that continue to sustain the Canadian folk community. As a result of her behind-the-scenes involvement, Canadian folk music artists have gained national and international recognition, while countless thousands of people have been exposed to the best in Canadian music. When talking about cultural pioneers like Ava, you have to recognize the tenacity and the strength it takes to develop cultural institutions like the Winnipeg Folk Festival and the Weston Cultural Center, or Home Roots, which is truly incredible. Ava and Mitch had the foresight and vision to lead their team to recruit and establish enough hosts across the country to activate over a dozen routes of 12 house concerts each. A true testament to the power of community when building new ideas. Their hard work represents over 10,000 performances opportunities for working musicians, made a real difference by way of giving artists a chance to pay their rent and put food on the table. Now with the new COVID reality, Ava, her son Leonard, and the Home Roots team have adapted and transitioned to online concerts so they can continue to connect artists with their audiences. The work is never done. Such organizations do not just appear in the world. They require vision, dedication, and follow through. And Ava has been uncompromising for a generation and a half in her quest to create sustainable platforms to propel artists' careers. She is also a truly kind person who carries herself with dignity and grace and nurtures that in others around her in whatever capacity they find themselves in her company. I believe these characteristics and ethics represent all that is good in our world, and I am pleased to call her a mentor and a hero of mine. This world is undoubtedly a better place because of you, Ava. Congratulations, you are deeply loved.
Hello, everyone. Especially today, I'd like to thank the Canadian Folk Music Awards for this terrific honor that they've bestowed upon me. It's really quite something. And I have to thank everyone who's been involved with it and making this thing happen, particularly Jason. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And Les Seminyak and Karen Dana, who supported the nomination. So what I'd like to also say is, I'm hoping you can't change your mind, because I'm not unsung. The first time I was sung, I'm very honored to say, was as a tribute of being Leonard's mother. And it was a song that Ron Hines made up extemporaneously in front of the hotel at one of the Edmonton Folk Festivals a few years ago when Leonard's band was playing there. So that was a lot of fun, and I felt quite honored at that time as well. Mitch had the idea from Pete Seeger and Paul Robeson with their one-off house concerts when they couldn't get work in the 50s. Said, well, why not do what we always do, which is gather volunteers, and we'll send a bunch of artists to a bunch of different homes over the years, and we'll have a whole new infrastructure for work. So that's what we did, and it only happened because of people like Tim Osmond and Grant Simpson and Selena Busky and Ali Hancharuk and Nicole Bremont, not to mention Leonard as well. Let me see, what else? The West End Cultural Center. We got the idea while I was working at Prairie Theatre Exchange with Colin Jackson and Sherry Carpishin. And after working there for about 6 weeks, I said to my husband, well, aren't you going to ask me what this job is like for me? He said, All I can tell you is learn everything you can about running a theater. So from Cherry Karpyshyn and Colin Jackson, I learned a whole lot, and it just stood me in good stead at the West End Cultural Centre. I have to say about the Writers' Festival, we got the idea at the West End Cultural Centre, and Paul McNally came up with the name Words on Stage, and it's since morphed into the Winnipeg International Writers' Festival, Thin Air. Going backwards to the Folk Festival, that's where it all started for me anyway, my work in this field, selling ads in the program book. And the Folk Festival started because it was a centennial event. Winnipeg Centennial Corporation said, come ahead with a program, with a project. Let me see. We see this ad on TV, and they said, bring them ahead with a project. And Mitch says to me, well, we should make a folk festival. To which I replied, what's a folk festival? And he explained it to me. And all I can say is the rest is history. And because of all the volunteers and all the hard work that's been done, my work has been made necessary and important. And thank you to everyone.
Des East Pointers, finalistes pour l'album contemporain, chanteur contemporain, innovation musicale et la nouvelle catégorie monoplage de l'année. Nominees for Contemporary Album, Contemporary Singer, Pushing the Boundaries, and Single of the Year, which is a new category. C'est un groupe qui redéfinit le genre et qui est en constante évolution, folk, moderne, avec des crochets pop dignes d'un billboard, un groove acoustique profond, de la trance, du trad et des harmonies à 3 voix.
Each member of the East Pointers is a solid traditional player, but they believe that tradition is constantly changing. To quote banjo player Cody Chasson, we wanted to make an album someone could put on and basically have a dance party to. We're passionate about tradition, yes, but it doesn't belong in a box in the attic, getting dusted off for special occasions and boring the pants off kids. Traditions belong to the people who shepherd them into the next generation.
Hey everyone, we're the East Pointers, joining you from Prince Edward Island. My name is Tim, Cody, and Jake, and we're so happy to be nominated for Folk Music Awards. So thank you so much for having us a part of it. This next song is called Winter Green.
Let it breathe, if it doesn't breathe, it's gonna die. Let it see, if we let it be, is it gonna fly? Set it free, and if it leaves, we say goodbye. Where we weave, and then we grieve, and then we cry. I wanna tell you before I forget, you're doing well, you know you're living it. You're gonna make it no matter how hard it gets. Despite the darkness, some of these days, and winter green, I cannot shine your radiance. Winter green, run remind your salience. Winter green, I love you more than anything. Winter green, despite the darkness, some of these days. Let it go, but you should know you're on my mind, and let it flow. Raise the ever changing tracks of space and time. And if you grow beyond the world that we define, just let me know that you're gonna be alright. I wanna tell you before it's too late, you had it all going on right out of the gate. You never faked it or phoned it in. Despite the darkness, some of these days, winter green, cannot shine your radiance. Winter green, run remind your salience. Winter green, I love you more than anything. Winter green, despite the darkness, some of these days. Ooh, winter green, way up and the way down are one and the same. We're calling it audible, late in the game. And if love is everything, then love is pain. The certain spirits are too bright to be tamed. I cannot shine your radiance or undermine your salience, or redefine your sentience. Despite the darkness, some of these days, and winter green, I cannot shine your radiance. Winter green, undermine your salience. Winter green, I love you more than anything. Winter green, despite the darkness, some of these days. Winter green.
In the category for Instrumental Solo Artist of the Year. Dans la catégorie pour Instrumentiste Solo de l'année, the nominees are, les nominés sont Mark Atkinson, for pour Solo, Benjamin Barile, for pour Esperando el Alba, Gordon Gardina, for pour Prior Street, Nick Hornbuckle, for pour 13 or So, Natalie McMaster, for pour Sketches.
Et le prix va à Mark Atkinson pour Solo.
Hey there, and greetings from Hornby Island, British Columbia. I'm Mark Atkinson, and I'm feeling very thankful and honored right now to be receiving the Canadian Folk Music Award for Instrumental Solo Album of the Year. I made it here on Hornby Island in this very studio, and I'd love to throw out a thanks to my family, Deirdre and Arno and Otis, for all their encouragement and support when making the record. And I hope to see you all out there when all the touring and good times can strike up again. Bye for now.
In the category for Instrumental Group of the Year, dans la catégorie pour Groupe Instrumental de l'année, the nominees are, les nominés sont Biolach pour All Hands, Emmeline Stam and John David Williams pour Honeywood, Gordon Gardina's The Marrow pour Safar I Daroon, Jessica Deutsch and Ozira pour Traces, Rhizome pour Double Capture.
Et le prix est décerné à Viola pour All Hands.
Thank you so much, everybody. We're so honored to be Instrumental Group of the Year at the Canadian Folk Music Awards. Thank you so much to Mike Shepard and Fred Lavery over at Lakeland Sound for helping us make this album and make it what it is. We couldn't be happier. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Pharis and Jason Romero met in 2007, and they've been together ever since. 6 albums, several CFMAs, and 2 Juno Awards later, they continue to make new music that feels 100 years old, in a good way. At this year's awards, they are nominated in 6 categories: Traditional Album, Traditional Singer, English Songwriter, Vocal Group, Ensemble, and Producer of the Year.
Couple of the Year, too.
Most definitely.
Pharis et Jason Romero sont un ancrage sentimental et l'antidote parfait à cette vie accélérée. Quelques vieux disques éraflés et un banjo personnalisé ont conduit à leur rencontre. Des chansons qui valent vraiment la peine d'être transmises aux générations futures.
Hey there, we're Pharis and Jason Romero, and we're incredibly happy to be part of the Canadian Folk Music Awards online edition this year. We're coming to you from our sauna in beautiful Horsefly, BC.
We're gonna play a few tunes off our last album.
Was a raking, rambling boy, many a city I did enjoy. I ring my bell and count to 3. Watch them pretty girls all run to me. Oh, them pretty girls all run to me. Was a sailor on a ship so fine. The captain said this would all be mine. I cast my net in one true throw for my bounty from the depths below. For my bounty from the depths below. No sickness, so teared in eyes. My pocket's heavy and my shoes do shine. My back is able and my mind is true. I do not have a love like you. I do not have a love like you. I do not speak gently this hammer is mighty, rings in the morning, rings in silence. I don't know when I got so cold. For better and love, babe, we will win. For better and love, babe, we will win. I've always painted a picture of a darling you have and hold. I have held it like a golden mirror, but it makes me feel so alone. Better and love, babe, we will win. Better and love, babe, we will win, win, win. So give a little love to myself. Give a little love to myself. Give a little love to myself. So I ask you, darlings and loved ones, help me walk a path of light. I tell you true, I long for laughter, starshines, haze, and an easy smile. Better and love, babe, we will win. Better and love, babe, we will win, win, win. So I give a little love to myself. Give a little love to myself. Give a little love to myself. Oh, I give a little love to myself.
Thanks, everybody.
World Album of the Year. Album de musique du monde de l'année. The UK folk music magazine F Roots once described world music as local music from out there. Thankfully, that music is now in here, part of our Canadian community, creating a more diverse, more musically exciting soundscape at our folk festivals, in our concert halls, and at our local community gatherings.
In the category for World Album of the Year, Dans la catégorie pour album de musique du monde de l'année, the nominees are... Les nominés sont Africa Without Borders by par Okavango African Orchestra, Cora Flamenca by par Zalzisako, La Serena by par Aviva Chernik, Patria by par Mazacote, Sombras by par OKAN,
And the award goes to Cora Flamenca by Zal Siziko.
Oh yes! Thank you everybody! Merci beaucoup tout le monde!
Thank you so much. We're super happy to win this award. Miguel Medina on percussion, Jean-Félix Mayou, upright bass, Zal Sissoko.
Caroline Planté.
Thank you, and thanks to Centre des musiciens du monde in Montreal.
Thank you everybody. Merci beaucoup à tout le monde.
Merci.
We have a few thank yous now from our next guest. He's a founding member of the CFMAs, a guitar builder, an author, a musician, and he has recently been cast to play the Thunder God Thor in the next Avengers movie. Here is Grit Laskin.
Hi folks, it's Grit Laskin from the CFMA board here. I'm here just to let you know a few things about the CFMAs, and the first one is that we are entirely a volunteer board. We work all year long to put on the CFMAs in support of the artists in our community and are delighted that you're here watching tonight. Please check out the program guide to the streamed shows. You can find the names of our board members there. This is on the website, on the CFMA website. We couldn't present these awards without the support of some of the wonderful longtime supporters we've had for years now. Factor, SOCAN, Slate Music, and even this year SiriusXM has jumped in and is helping, which is wonderful. Also, from our direct community, we have had support through the years from Edmonton Folk Festival, the Calgary Folk Club, Penguin Eggs Magazine, Wavelength Media, True North Records, Fish Creek Concerts, Music PEI, and Oliver Schroer's estate. You know, but more than anything else, we're gratified by the immense support we receive from the community of artists themselves. The fact that so many feel we are relevant to their careers and submit their albums for adjudication through the CFMAs honors us to the max. And we thank them from the bottom of our hearts for believing in what the CFMAs are doing. And lastly, I wanted to single out a few people who've really done a heroic effort to pull off the CFMAs, especially the pandemic approach that we all have to do these days. One of them is Ms. Tara Park, who is sort of our part-time executive director. She's been invaluable. Of course, Graham Lindsay, who has been assembling all the videos that you've been seeing for days and you're going to see tonight. And I don't know how we could have done it without dear Graham. Anyway, thanks. That's it for me. Enjoy the shows, and hopefully we'll see you in an actual location next year. Bye-bye.
The Oliver Schroer Pushing the Boundaries Award. Prix Innovation Musicale Oliver Schroer. This award recognizes a solo artist, duo, or group taking creative risks to create folk-based music that is innovative, original, and imaginative. This award is sponsored by Peter Kaufman on behalf of the Oliver Schroer estate.
In the category for the Oliver Schroer Pushing the Boundaries Award. Dans la catégorie pour le Prix Innovation Musicale Oliver Schroer, sponsored by, commandité par Peter Kaufman, Oliver Schroer Estate. The nominees are Les nominés sont Aerialists, 4 pour Dear Sienna, Mélisande, électrotrad, 4 pour Les Myriades, Reet, 4 pour Ataataga, The East Pointers, 4 pour Yours to Break. The Henrys, 4 pour Pay Dirt.
And the award goes to Aerialists for Dear Sienna.
On behalf of Aerialists, thank you so much for this award. It is a particular honor to receive an award named after Oliver Schroer, as he's a personal hero of mine. We would love to say thanks to Jake and Justin, Charles and Winston, and Taylor and Issa, who all played on the album. And a huge thank you to all the venue owners and people out there helping keep the flame alive until we can play again.
Julian Taylor, finaliste pour auteur-compositeur anglophone et artiste solo de l'année. Nominated for English Songwriter and Solo Artist of the Year. Artiste torontois qui possède un héritage antillais et mohawk, Julian Taylor a su évoluer de manière créative. Il aime dire qu'il est ici grâce aux gens qui l'aiment et le soutiennent, ce qui lui a permis de développer sa confiance en soi et de se relever des échecs passés. Il est commandité par ELMNT FM.
A Toronto music scene staple and a musical chameleon of West Indian and Mohawk descent, Julian Taylor first made his name as frontman of Staggered Crossing in the early 2000s. In everything he does, Taylor has carved his own path, creating genre-free music with a generosity of spirit and a strong belief in the healing powers of song.
Hi, I'm Julian Taylor, and it's an honor to be able to perform for you. Thank you to the Canadian Folk Music Awards for the nominations and for this opportunity. I'm going to do a couple songs from my latest record, The Ridge. In fact, here's the title track. It was mornings like these when the breeze whistled through the trees. The fog would hover and the grass would still be wet. Put on my rain boots and I'd get dressed and head down to the barn beside the chicken coop. I'd follow her out the front door, down the path, through the brushes and past the pond. My sister and I used to catch frogs there until the house sold and we had to move on. Now there's a westbound wind blowing through the ridge again. You can stay in or go outside and wait for it to die, but either way, it never ends. But then make our way past the dog pen, through the fields to the stables where the horses lay. I'd shovel manure and clean their beds and prepare their feed for the day. My favorite horse was named Frosty, until Sherry gave birth to a calf named Zarif. I swear I was there to witness his birth and sharing that incredible memory. Now there's a westbound wind blowing through the ridge again. You can stay in or go outside and wait for it to die, but either way, it never ends. She taught me how to ride, she used to sing me lullabies. She watched me take my first steps in the kitchen when I was just a kid. And those were the early years when we were taught to have no fear, and everything seemed so clear. I'd Follow her out the front door, down the path, through the brushes and past the pond. My sister and I used to catch frogs there, until the house sold and we had to move on. Now there's a westbound wind blowing through the ridge again. You can stay in or go outside and wait for it to die, but either way, it never ends. It never ends. It never ends. That's The Ridge from my record of the same title. It's a song about my step-grandmother and the time that we spent together. This is a song called Ballad of a Young Troubadour. When I was just a teenager, I set out on a little trip around the northern United States. I thought I was Jack Kerouac. I wasn't. La da 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 la da 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 la da 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 la da 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 da. I left T.O. quite some time ago, sometime in the spring, with just a knapsack and a six string. I'd made this deal. I was barely 17, armed with delusions of a dream. La da 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 la da 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 la da 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 da. Hitchhiked for days all along the Northwest, with no knowledge in my chest of ways and means and schemes. By the time I hit Seattle, I arrived by train. It was called the Empire Builder. I'm not sure how it got its name. Barely old enough to drink, but I always found a way. Often stumbling out into the streets with the moon shining on my back, singing la da 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 la da 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 da. A few more years, I would try again. This time with my friends who shared much of the same sense of wonder or desire for fame. As the white lines hurtled past the asphalt, how quickly that would change. So much was in us at the time, it helped me to close my mind and try not to think of it all as we braced for the fall. La da 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 da. All that was promised in this life was taken so easily. Turns out reality wasn't cracked up to be what it was meant to be. When in doubt, I look back to when I was 17. And all the miles and miles and miles that I've seen. Each inch of pavement has a story to tell. Some I can't recall, others remember all too well. La da 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 da.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's an honor. My name's Julian Taylor, and thank you to the Canadian Folk Music Awards. Thank you for listening.
We would like to thank the members of the CFMA board and project manager Tara Park for all their planning and hard work. Thanks also to our publicist, Kimberly Sinclair, and to all our jurors for their thoughtful selections. Congratulations to all the nominees and tonight's award recipients. Please join us tomorrow, April the 11th, Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for the second night of the Canadian Folk Music Awards.
Grand merci à vous tous, membres du conseil d'administration, de même que Tara Park, les jurys, les finalistes, les récipiendaires, et à vous qui jouez et écoutez. C'est ce qui nous permet de souligner ce bel événement. On se voit demain soir, 20h.